Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. I tried to re-listen to the live that I did earlier, and I made a bunch of mistakes that I just want to correct. And so, yes, I am tying up loose ends, and I want to put an end to the confusion that as I was, because it was my goal to make it as concise and, like one thing linking up to another as I could. I appreciate people who've come in and viewed it already. I know as many people won't come here because I didn't even announce anything. But still, I want to tie up those loose ends because they're absolutely vital to understanding uh, my greater point. And so let me do that as quickly as possible. Greetings to the one person who's come on through. I'm here just to tie up what I said I was going to speak on and then neglected thoroughly. So let me share my screen right now. I have the reflection from my com- uh, computer in the front. I have a big screen there, but at the same time, I'm just using one of my devices right now. So let's see, share screen, and right, that's there, and there we go. Okay, now what I had said I was going to share at the very beginning was I was going to tear uh, this Greta Thunberg a new one, and I meant metaphorically, not literally. I don't wish her any harm, wish anybody any harm. Um, but I did want to, on my laptop, there's going to be ads. It's always so annoying. But I wanted to go over this photo right here because Greta Thunberg is one of these eco morons who it turned out that she was taking script instruction from her very father. And she's the head of this whole climate change bait and switch where the climate is changing. There's no doubt about that. But the reason that they give is absolutely ludicrous, which is carbon emissions. And that means fossil fuels, things of that nature, which have been utilized far longer than would be in synchronization with the drastic change in our environment, which more aligns with Fukushima and with man made radiation. That's why they do the chemtrailing because of the heating up of the environment. That is something I've also read in the many books that I have just read from cover to cover. I don't skip a chapter, I read the whole thing. And the fact they learned early on that radiation heats up the environment is not a brand new thing to them, especially. And so the whole bait and switch strategy, this is something that they've utilized for a long time. And so I wanted to, I'll get back to Greta because I ain't got so much to cover, but I wanted to talk about an old method they used to use to hide their wrongdoing. And this is a channel I just came across called, what was it? Fact Feast. And I've been enjoying it where the administrator of this channel will read an actual narrative written by an observer during the it's mostly like the Victorian era and pre like right at during the Industrial Revolution, though he does go over like right here he's going over Boston. And when it uh, was established, it created a large contingent of wealthy entrepreneurs, and we know that most of their industry was fueled by enslaving our ancestors. and using that free labor to make Europe wealthy, make the Americas wealthy. But as this is going over, a lot of us were free, and a lot of us were creating a daunting challenge for the pink folks in charge. And this was the time when they started false rumors that there was gold in the streets in the Americas. I theorize that the very potato famine that happened in Ireland was exacerbated by the British, who had vested interests, whether there had been a revolution or not, the Queen or the royal uh, court of England still owned the unentitled snakes of America, and thereby they had every reason to want to increase the the lucrativeness of American businesses, and that meant that we would be forming a united opposition, competition, and they needed to stop that. And so a lot of these immigrants were told that this is also when they started up the whole Jim Crow and blackface entertainment, so that they could make so much fun of us that with white people, once they know, okay, this is the guy whose butt we're supposed to be kicking, then they get on board for it. They don't ask any questions, they just get on board for it. So this is something I see happening right now with this forced like acceptance of these immigrants who are coming from all over the world up through Mexico. And I look at this and I say, how in the world are these people who are supposed to be at the last end of their ability to take care of themselves affording these trips all the way over to Mexico in order to get up through here? Now, granted, the border at this point has been made so porous that everybody can come on in, and they might see it as a more appropriate place to accomplish that. But none of these daggone presidents, Biden of course included, do anything without permission. They don't suddenly just flip the narrative, because then they would actually flip the narrative to something that works. And they don't do that, not ever. They do stuff on script. And so when I look at this rush of immigration that came in through Ellis Island back in, after the, I don't know, was it before the Civil War, after the Civil War, whatever. In the meantime, what happened was these people were supposed to be finding riches, and they were in slums that were a breeding ground for pestilence. This was horrible. What wound up happening is riots, riots that they would get started that were waged against Black us, so that our cities and towns that we were establishing were burnt to the ground. And that completely eradicated any threat that the elites felt from us in terms of us impacting their profit margins. That was accomplished. And that's why I wanted to highlight, okay, advertisements, the just parallel what's going on right now, where I know that there are legions of us who are waking up, and they don't like that. They want to stop that utterly. That's why they have us wedded with this whole wokery nonsense. And the overwhelming majority of us, we're not falling for it, but they want us to believe that none of us are waking up, and that's a lie. And so, going back to Greta, once again, it's that bait and switch mentality. And I'm going to this photo of this sister right here, Vanessa, I think Nakata was her name, Nakate. And she's an Ugandan climate activist I support her doing what is in her heart without a doubt. Hopefully, she's genuine and she wouldn't be someone who would act as an operative if she happened to find out about man made radiation in Fukushima, that she wouldn't negate what it is to our planet because it is literally destroying our earth. And the climate change narrative of it's our cars that are doing this, when you have the entire military divisions of all the countries on the planet, nobody's said telling them, you guys have to give up oil. Even though, why in the world do you need to have such vast armies when we have telecommunications that work with a blink of an eye? Surely you can figure out some way to work things out so you don't have to obliterate whole populations of people. If you can't, you don't deserve to be the head of anything, right? And so when I look at Greta and how she had been shown for being a complete phony, that's why you don't hear of her pretty much anymore. But this photo right here that they took, and this was at Davos. I know if you're showing up at Davos, you're no threat at all. You are helping them. All right. But Vanessa might not know that. Sister Vanessa might not know that. In the meantime, they cut her out of the photo and they just showed the white girls. Right. And she was comment like, I wasn't there. Okay. No, for them, you weren't. And they wanted very much, they did cleanup. They said, oh, no, no, no. It was Associated Press that cut you out. We're so sorry. Right. No, 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 no. That was something that this is the way that they think automatically, naturally. They don't want us involved at all. And so all those people, the black folks who think, oh, this is so wonderful. White people, they understand me, they love me. And no, they don't. No, they don't. Right? You don't fool yourself. Don't think that, oh, I know one nice white person. Yeah, as I say, they probably are really, really nice. But if you start talking too much about wanting to be independent and sovereign and control your own resources, find out how nice they are then. All right. And so that was one thing. And oh, I was just looking up what she promotes, and it looks like the same old usual stuff. Now, the last thing that I wanted to cover that I missed in there is that oh, peace, Brother Herman. How are you? Um, the last thing that I forgot to cover was the books. And I also kept making little mistakes. I said homosexuals are cisgender. No, they mean heterosexuals are supposed to be cisgender towards us who are just sane and love the nature that has been put in us as male or female. All right. So I wanted to, with I don't have my book list over here on this on my laptop, but I wanted to show the books that I'm reading right now that I don't have on the list. This one I have on the list, which is No Immediate Danger. Oh my goodness, this book is deep. I'm about, I don't know, like a little over a third through, and it takes me a long time to read because I'm writing. I'm writing right now. Okay, Deadly Deceit. I already can't see that. I have that on my list. This is one that oh, Captain. I can't remember his full name anymore because it's been so long since I've spoken with the brother, but he recommended this book and I definitely recommend it. It's great for just, learning how to rescue yourself. But here's the book that I definitely don't have on the list, Nuclear Witnesses. This is scathing. I just sort of browsed through it, and it is people who work in the nuclear industry, who were nuclear physicists. They're just giving their eyewitness account of what goes on in these places. All right. So that you can, I'm not here. Like I said, I ain't about conspiracy theory. You could look up everything I'm talking about. You could go to any video and then just Google it. Things like this, you ain't going to find Googled. Okay. I mean, I don't know how many years I've been up here and I've got so many books, and I finally just happened by by reading the other books. That's how I found out from Rosalie Bertell's book. I found out about nuclear witnesses. She was also talking about another one, which I don't know if I'll be able to get, but it is the uh, Hiroshima and Nagasaki eyewitness accounts of what happened after the bomb blast, that the US Army forbid that book being sold in the United States of America. And it wasn't rediscovered. It was published in 1950, and I can't even find the title on it. She didn't even put the title of the book. I found something that looks like it might be what it is, but at the same time, they didn't even make it reavailable until 1980. And the softcover version is not available. I saw there's one hardcover version, but it costs $300. So that means I ain't buying it. But I would love to be able to get the first hand account, because I remember hearing someone say secondhand that the women in Hiroshima would who it would liquefy their organs. What I did read of their account is it would the people closest to the bomb blast were vaporized instantly. Further out, you were your organs started to enter a liquid gelatinous state. So literally, people were saying inside their mouths, it was just jello. It was gelatin inside. Can you imagine? Now, I don't even imagining sounds like it would be horribly painful. But you don't have the hardness of your upper palate, and your teeth and everything are just rubber. And so I heard someone say that the women would just be right before they died, they would just squat and take their last bowel movement, and it was literally their guts inside, which had been so attacked by the radiation that it just dripped right outside of them. And that's just that was only a small portion of the people affected. Then there were the cancers. There was the effects from black rain. You didn't even have to be near the bomb blast, but the black rain was the fallout from the explosion, and it was radioactive. And that was something that they talked about with Fukushima when that went off, that they found this black substance that was radioactive. And so, yeah, I just wanted to share those couple of corrections. And that's it. Let me get out of here. Mwah. I'll be back. I spoke with, not, over the phone or anything like that, but Sister Queen, I know who I am, made a great suggestion. So in 7 days, I'll be back to go over skincare, just, I don't know, beauty care. I'm not saying that because I'm not a makeup person. I'm not a product person at all. But how do you get real, substantial, beautiful skin, beautiful healing, so that I don't know why, I guess that's the light or something. So you get beautiful healing in your own physicality on the surface. And that starts from within. So I said to the sister, it won't be a makeup tutorial, it'll be a make in tutorial. Okay. All right. Now I can go over what I put in my products also, so that that can boost your beauty standards. All right. I love you. Let me get out of here. Thank you to anybody who comes on in and watches this. Also, peace and blessings. Oops, I got the wrong mouse here. There we go. Yeah.